Hey folks, it's Frithgar. Hey, how you doing? So, I have done some fertilizer spreading back in the field. Not 14. Hang on, let me just... Whoa! Yes, this is what happens when you try to look at a keyboard and drive at the same time. Field 19, I have finished doing the fertilizer over field 19. The bits that we ploughed up at the top, though, I haven't spread any fertilizer on those yet, so I'm just heading up there now with a full thing of fertilizer to spread on them. My question that I asked you all last week was the Lely Juno robot, the feed, the cleaner for the areas. Did you want me to get one of them and start using it? Did you want me to just leave it and continue using the Kramer that we've already got? Or did you want me to get two and set one up at each of the animal stations? Or the pigs and the cows. We haven't branched out to sheep on this map yet. We will do, but we just haven't done it yet. So we had 1,505 responses to that particular question, and we had 126 people say don't get one. I had, hang on, let me just start indicating. Oh, no, I don't want to go down that one. I want to go down this next one. We had 221 people say that they wanted me to get just one robot and carry it between the two. And we had 1,158 people suggest that it would actually be better if I got two of them. So we're going to be getting two. I don't quite have enough money to buy two today. We got $20,000. Oh, actually, no, we shouldn't have dollars at all. I'm so sorry. I've been recording on other stuff, so I haven't changed it over. Euros and kilometers. That's what we want. Right. We have 20,000 euros. And those things cost 12,000 euros each. So in order to get the two, we're going to need 24. I don't really want to take out any more loan. But, you know, we might just have to do that. Now then, what is the hired help going to be like on here? It just, hang on, let me just come out of cab a minute. We'll turn off those beacons. Let's just start it up. And we'll see what she's like with turning on the end. I could probably have just nudged it over a bit further than that. That's okay. Right, so my question this week is a little bit different. Someone suggested that I should do a series based on organic farming. And the more I think about that, the more I think that is an absolutely brilliant idea. I really do like that idea. It's going to be more difficult to try and get 3 coats of fertilizer on when preparing the ground, because we'd have to do that prior to actually planting the crops, because there is... I've had a look through, and you've got... Actually, I don't know. Hang on. I just want to see what this tractor's going to do up this top end. Whether it's going to actually drive out onto the crop on the other field. I mean, it doesn't really affect us because it's a neighbour's field. Is it going to... Oh, look at that. It's just skinning it. They're not quite actually doing any damage. Right. If you have a look here at the slurry tanks, all of these got wide wheels. Yeah? And that one's got wide wheels as well. These have all got wide wheels. We've got one here, this Zunhammer, which will actually, it goes on to the Eco variant. And then you've got the IT runner as well. And the same with the manure spreaders. You've got the same thing. So then if we go and have a look in tractors, I think it is. Oh, the game nearly froze then. That's not good. I've never had it actually freeze up before. Right. The Holmer Terra variant 600 Eco. Now this one is a €250,000 euros. It is not a cheap machine, but narrow twin wheels standard. Okay, narrow twins. I'm hoping that narrow twins would actually allow us to do it. So we could, in theory, operate as a fully organic farm and at the same time still be able to spread stuff on the crops after we've planted them. It would involve using the Eco variant. I can't see any other way of doing it. Unless, of course, we've got the IT runner. What about the IT runner? That's the other option. Where would that one be? Is that under miscellaneous? No. So it might just be under normal trailers. It's the only other place I could think of. Let's just take a look in tippers. Whiz all the way up through there. Right, well, you got the... Oh, there we go. So we got the IT runner. That doesn't come with those wheels. So, no, the only option that we would have would be to use the Eco variant if we were to still get 3 coats of fertilizer. So we might have to start it differently. So that is, anyway, I've sidetracked majorly there. My question for this week: do you want me to start running Sosnovka as a fully organic farm? Okay, that's the question. Do you want me to start running Sosnovka as a fully organic farm? As in, we won't be doing any more of this fertilizer with pellets, and we won't use as sprayers. We will only use slurry and manure produced by our animals or produced by the biogas plant. It's your vote. It's your game. There should have been a card come up in the top of the screen up on the right hand side. Click on that one to cast your vote. Head into the comments section. Chat all about it. That is today's topic of conversation. What do you think of me running this as an organic farm? Give us your pros and cons. I would love to hear all about it. So yeah, I thought this was a great idea, and it's certainly worth trying. It's worth having a look at. You know, if we had actually started that other end, down the other end, if we'd started that properly, we wouldn't now have to do a final pass down the field in order to complete this job. Well, there you are. You live and learn. We should have lined that up properly, and then we'll be able to do fertilizer on that one. I have noticed that because we've ploughed this fresh this time, the map is actually showing it as already having 1 round of fertilizer on it. Is it going to go any further? No, the hired help's going to stop. So what I will do is I will carry it on down here. So yeah, obviously today I am not doing it as organic farming. I'm just using conventional farming methods that we have been using. But if you do want me to change as of next week, I will no longer use it. I will sell the fertilizer spreader, and that will be the end of all fertilizer type things on this map. There are some organic fertilizers that you can get that you would apply through a fertilizer spinner like this, but we won't use that option. We will say that that's not an option, and we would just use the there we go. We would just use the manure and the slurry that is available to us. I think it's actually going to be really interesting. I quite enjoy doing that. And I'm also really going to enjoy reading all of your comments about this one. Last week I was talking about, obviously last week we did have a bit of a failure in, I didn't produce the time lapses over here that I said I was going to, but that was my fault entirely. I didn't have enough time, and I should have realised that when I started recording, and I didn't. So for that I have to apologise again. I'm really sorry about that. But the big one was the potatoes time lapse. I was talking about harvesting that field 23 next to our farm down there, and by the time I got to it, the potatoes had gone. They'd already been harvested. So we do have, as I've said earlier in the week, we've got field 1 on Goldcrest Valley, so I am going to time lapse that field. So you will see potatoes being time lapse harvested in a regular episode, and I'll probably do something different on this map. But what I am thinking of doing is I'm going to try and get field 23 anyway. So I know that I've got the two little fields I'm going to be working on at the moment. But then I think I will go for field 23, which is quite a long, narrow field, but it also has the advantage of having those huge strips of grass down the sides as well. So it'll be a nice big chunk of land, all sort of right close to our farm there, and I think that'll be really useful. So I will be doing some time-lapse material on that field. So I know that we missed out on potatoes. You will see potatoes, and you will see some other time-lapse stuff on that map. I'm just when I can get to it, when I've got time to actually record it, because obviously I want to make sure that it is done right. Now what's going to happen here? We come up to this one. Is it going to be able to do this properly? It does stop a little bit short of it, but it does seem to cope with it okay. Well, that's actually quite good. I like that. Yeah, I've got a little tiny bit there that hasn't been done properly, but generally it has done the job quite well. So that bit's a success. I think that little strip down the side is actually going to be missed. That's what I'm waiting for. We're going to see that bit in just a minute, and then we need to go and get well, we can get one of our Lely Junos. We might, I don't know if we got enough crops to sell so that we can get another one. We'll have a look at that in a minute. When I start driving back, I'll investigate what other sources of cash that we have that we could use. So it's going to do it again here. It's going to have to reverse back up a bit so that it can get past that tree. And it is, I like the fact that the hired help is a little bit more intelligent this time around than it used to be. However, The one mod that I used more than any other that I was really reliant on in FS15 was Auto Combine. And the author of Auto Combine have said already that it's not possible to do that exact mod in this game because of the different way that the AI is now worked, which is a real shame. I really don't like that. Right, he stopped here, so I think he was actually reading the ground out this side instead of out this side, which is a little bit of a nuisance, but we'll carry on and do it for him. If we come up through here, and then we just got that last little bit down the bottom. Last week I was also talking about in the final episode, the topic of conversation that I said was, did you want me to get the Kirovitz tractor as like a temporary one until we can get the big tractor that I did say that I was going to get, and I will get the big tractor. Quite a few people have said that they would like me to get the Kirovitz, especially as this is an Eastern European map and that is an Eastern European tractor. So really, of all the maps that I have done, that is the most fitting machine to go on to this. This is the most fitting map for housing that machine. So I will definitely get that one. That was I think it's 78,000 euros. So I will definitely get that one. And we're going to plant. I know I've done a load of beans on Goldcrest, and I was also thinking of doing beans here because it's a good cash crop, and we could do with the money at the moment. I will make my final decision on my drive back. Right, I'm going to continue with my original plan of putting beans over everything, because if I put fertilizer on this one, I don't think I did. Hang on a minute. Let's just take a quick look back through here, and growth, soil composition. Remove that one. It does look like I've already put fertilizer on that one. That one's only had one coat. This here isn't. Okay, I'm not really sure what's going on with that. It was originally saying that it was fertilized. Now it's saying that that bit has. Oh, I know what it is. It's because we had the extra bit up there, didn't we? That was already done. The whole thing is showing as cultivated, but that top bit was. I think that was because it doesn't need ploughing. We've got a little tiny bit there that says it needs ploughing. Huh. Right, that's a bit of a mixed bag of fertilizer up there, but anyway, it does need doing. I think we have done fertilizer spreading on here. We'll just need to do one more coat at the end of it. I am going to go on and do beans on everything. I know that we've done some beans over on Goldcrest, but I'm going to do beans on here as well because it is a good cash crop, and we will get a huge pile of money for it. So I'm just going to put the hired help going and just leave that to it. He can carry on, and we'll do fertilizer spreading over it afterwards once it's finished. We're getting a little bit of a pile of manure here, and it's down there that we need to get our robot feeder. Unfortunately, you can't put the robot feeder indoors, and some people have pointed out that it is intended to be for indoor use and not for outdoor use, but there isn't a lot that we can do about that. So I am going to go here first, and we're going to get the one for the cattle. Even if we can't get the other one, we will get this one here for the cattle. I would like to get a hay loft at some point. You can put hay and straw in it. But, yeah, well, that's is to come. We won't worry about that right now. So we've got a load of barns and sea tanks and stuff. But this is the one that we want here. We want the charging station, 120 euros. Obviously, it doesn't actually charge with this game. And so what we do is we have the charging station, and it offsets the cost, the maintenance costs of running the machine for the day. And it's kind of like a compromise that we've got, because you wouldn't normally have. Right, where can I put this thing? I'm gonna have to rotate it round, I would guess. Oh no, that's me rotating round. See, it's having it outside that we don't like. We don't really want to have it outside, but, well, to be honest, I don't think we've got a lot of choice. So if I put it there, how do I rotate the thing round? Use the mouse. Yeah, I don't want to do that. If I click the mouse, it's going to just drop it down. The WASD keys, they're moving me around. And if I do that, it's... Is it that? No. There must be a way to rotate this thing. I can normally cope with this. WASD keys are moving me around. And then if I use the arrow keys, thus moving me around like that. If I press and hold the mouse and move it sideways, that's just saying it can't be placed here. Right. There was a way to do it. Oh well. We're going to have to just put it like this for now. So if I put that one there, like that, that is placed. So that is going to offset the cost of using another one. I'm just going to take this shed a minute. Right, so how do you rotate stuff? No? R doesn't do it. E and Q. E and Q is how you do it. Right. I just needed to find that out. Right, so, okay, now that we've done that, we've got a charging station down there, so now we want to go and get the Kramer and drive up to the top and get the machine. We do need to get over to the pigs fairly soon, so I'm wondering maybe we should just do it, set it up with the pigs. So let's get the next charging station, and I will place that one down now. And if I zoom out, this is very slow. Is that as fast as I can go? That is, I think it is. Oh, this is, it's awful. I'm going to be here forever. No, let me rotate round like that. Start trying to go forwards. And, oh, I want to rotate a little bit further. So there's our pigs. And this is actually a very, very slow way of doing this. It's a long, long, slow... Tell you what, this field here that we're travelling along beside, that one would actually be a pretty cool time-lapse. It's quite a big field, isn't it? So that could actually work quite nicely. Right, we are over at the pigs at long last, and we can actually rotate this round if we want to. I'm going to put it down here on this corner. It's sort of out the way down here. And, yeah, why not? Let's rotate it round. It's very slow. Everything seems to be a bit slow. Am I doing something wrong? Maybe I need to shift and press. Right. Let's put that one there. If I do shift... Ah! I should have pressed shift and done it. Okay. Right, I got 2 charging stations down. And we're going to take this one. I think I'll leave the log fork here. I don't need the bucket because I'm going to use the front of the Kramer is going to be used to pick up the Juno in a minute. So I'll leave the log fork here. I am going to go over to the grain storage a second. Nope, not that one. I want to go to the front. There. Right. And if you take a look at the pigs, we've got hardly any food left. Just have a look here. So water, straw, corn, wheat, barley, canola. So corn is the lowest, so that's the one that we're going to get. Corn is actually, we've got a pile of corn in front of the feed trough anyway, so if we go to pick it up, we will be able to just tip it in there. I am going to get some more. We're going to need it. So we'll just drive under here and so wheat, barley, canola, sunflowers, soybeans, corn, 22,000 litres. I don't think we're going to need all that. There we go, 8,000 litres of that. And next I want to go up to the dealership and we'll get the robot, and then we will carry that and tug this trailer all the way over to the pigs, or tow it if you want to do it in a more conventional manner. Sorry, my words are getting a bit confused today. Anyway, let's go and get this robot. And come into the shop. Right. Animals. And Lely Juno. Select. Right. With design is standard or beacon. I guess a beacon on the top. I don't really know what it would be for. I don't know. Right. In real life, these things, so we got one of them. In real life, these things, they would actually charge up electronically, and you do use them to do exactly what they do in the game here. They move back and forth in front of an animal area. So let's just bring this up and start it. Right, and so you see how the skirt is moving around? That actually happens in real life. It just keeps doing that, keeps moving along, moving around like that, and it just moves up and down in front of the animal pen, slowly pushing the feed back towards the cattle, because obviously as they eat, they push it away, so it gets pushed out of their reach. And so this one just moves up and down gently all day, nudging it back, and then when it runs out of power, it goes back to its feed station. It does it all automatically. Absolutely fantastic thing it is. It really is. And we've got a load of controls here. Right, I'm not really sure what that bit is. I'm guessing that sort of changes the angle that it moves or something like that. I don't know. The other side, that opens up there like that. If I go the other way, we don't have anything, so we got that one that opens up. I think that would join onto the machine over there, onto the Kramer. This way, if I move this up and down. Right, I don't really know what that bit is for yet, so I'm going to switch it off and then jump into the Kramer here, and I'm hoping that if we get round to the other side of it, we can pick it up with the front loader. If we can't pick it up with the front loader, it means it needs to go on the front linkage of the tractor, and that's going to be a little bit more inconvenient. I'd rather just be able to carry it with this one, and we can just drag it straight through. Just come over here, line up, right. It does have the option for line up. I'm going to lift it up a bit just in case it needs to move anywhere. There we go. Right, so it does actually attach quite nicely, and it fits fairly well as well. It does fit on there quite nicely. It's not perfect. The animation isn't perfect. It does clip into it a bit, but overall, I'd say that's fairly pleasing. I'm going to take this over to the pigs, and then we can see the thing in action. Here are our pigs, and there is a terrible mess in front of the pig troughs. Something that I have noticed on the way up here is when you have that thing on the front, I'm using my joystick at the moment, you can't move it. So if I unload it, I can now move the arm around. And if I have the arm right down low and I move forward and attach, it doesn't change it. It just stays there. So for some reason, hang on, maybe if I... I see. Right, I thought it was some magical sort of overriding device, but it's not. Change there and there, unload. Right, I'll back up a bit. Oop. Test my reversing skills. Because I don't have a bucket, I'm not going to be able to put the straw in this time. I'm going to have to put the straw in next time. We need to bring up some more grain up here anyway. See, that's the problem with this thing. I keep trying to turn too sharp. If you have a look here, we're going to need water, we need straw, we need wheat, barley, and we need canola is the one that we got. Although we don't need very much of that. Right, now let's hop into here, bring up this one, and we'll press enter to start the engine, and then... yeah, we want to close it down like that. Right, so that's closed down. Now... I can't remember how we do this. I think what you've got to do is you bring it over and you set it to the middle. So we got to go over and we got to point it into the middle. And see, I'm driving it manually and it's pushing it into the feed trough already. So if you use the blinker buttons, it'll do this. So that's backwards and that's forward. So if I bring up the blinker button, that's basically setting my where it's going to position itself. And what you need to do is you need to set it centralized on the feed trough. Where you see the grid, that's the area of grain that it's going to clear and feed back into the feed trough. So I will position myself in the middle like this. So that should be covering most of the grain that has now been spilt. So then if I use the other blinker, that's the left blinker. If I then use this blinker, I don't know what that the other button is for. That one. You see that bit that's moving around the side? I don't know what that's for. I've got no idea what that's for at the moment. Change angle. So now we got the change angle. You got unload here. It's actually, we got 95 and it's saying that we're 95% full, so I'm not quite sure what happens there. I think that's because we're now full. It will... Ooh. That was my timer to say that I've run out of time. I think when it's saying that it's full, it picks up this grain, and then it's supposed to put it into trough itself. I think it does that with the hired help. So the angle, it's got 500 at the moment, and if you change the angle, that's actually the distance that it goes either side of this central point. So we want to just increase that slightly. If I say 1500 degrees, I don't know if that's going to be enough. We'll try. Well, all right, let's try 1500, and then we'll try hiring the worker. Now what's it doing? Okay, I got that completely wrong. You do actually need to face it this way, like this. So let me just straighten it up a bit, because I thought that you had to do it the other way. So right now, what it's doing, yeah, it's not quite straight yet. We need to just square that onto the trough a bit. Right, now I think it's in the right place. And it should now, because it's sideways on, automatically put it back into the feed trough. So let's just check the quantities. We've got 208 litres of corn in the feed trough at the moment. So now, I believe, if I just press H, it will slowly go down through, clean it all up as it goes, and it tips it into the feed trough. Right, 1500 is obviously too far. So I say that we could probably do it with 1000. Let me just press escape. Right, 287. It is definitely putting it into the feed trough. I would say that if we stop it a minute and we change this so that it reads 1000, press H so that it stops. There. And we also need to pay attention to the money. I know that we do have a hired help that's working at the moment. So you've got to cycle through it when you're pressing Y. 5,000. 6,000. Right, so we want to set it to 1,000, I think. And now if I press H, I don't want the GPS. Right, 1,000. It should come up to just past the trough and stop. Excellent. Right, that's perfect. Now it's going to back up. Now, obviously, it goes a lot slower when it's going backwards, he says, as it starts motoring its way back down through. Right, and now that's picking it all up, and it's just putting it straight into the trough automatically. That is awesome. That is absolutely fantastic. And what you can do is you can just leave this one going. Once you realise that it's there, you can just put it going. And I think the hired help will just let it just go on forever. So just press escape again. So we've put all the corn in there. And now that one's just going to move up and down permanently. Well, one other thing that I would like to see. We'll get out and we'll leave it. It doesn't look like it's using money. It looks like the hired help will just leave it going. You do see the thing on the ground. I don't know if that's because of leaving the... If I turn the indicator off, does that... Right, it might be because the hired help is on. I'm not going to interfere with it, though. I'm not going to take any chances. But one thing I would like to see is we are going to tab through our machines now. So there's our small tractor. There's our big tractor who's just finished planting this field. We'll move him on to that one in just a minute. Our combine, our Kramer, and here. So this is actually included on the tab list. So it does mean that we can tab straight up here and set the hired help going, which is essentially... it would be the same as using a remote control system to activate your robot, which is how it would actually work in real life. Right, sorry about that, I had a bit of a coughing fit. I've just paused it a second. I'm going to tip this grain into here, and then we can just leave the pigs to carry on. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give me a like, and if you really enjoyed it, please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. My question for this week is, do you want me to run my farm as a fully organic farm? Yes or no? If you do, I will not be using fertilizer or sprays anymore. Mouse over the screen and you should be able to cast your vote. Head into the comment section and talk about it. The pros and cons of organic farming, or running the map as an organic farm, could be the topic of discussion for today as well. I think that's about everything. I don't think there's anything else that I need to say. So, until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.